Good morning. It is Wake Up Wednesday, and I am Jenna Ross with Spiritually Savage Mindset Strategy Coaching. If you've been following my journey a little bit, then you know that I moved, and it's been a little bit of an emotional experience for me moving back to the place of my trauma. But I wanted to do a video today and actually have notes. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. I never do notes, but today I had a lot that I wanted to say and I didn't want to forget to put anything in. So a lot of people have asked me, am I getting settled in? Do I feel at home here? So I'm going to tell you that I have always considered myself my home. I've traveled a lot in my lifetime and I've done a lot of different jobs, and I've had a very discombobulating existence sometimes. So I've always considered myself home. So I've always kind of looked at it as wherever I am is my home. And so I want to encourage you to feel like you are your home this week, and to not look at a specific place as a home, but really as you are your home, and wherever you are, you're already home. So as long as you look at yourself as home, you'll never feel out of place. You'll never be homeless again. So that's kind of where I am right now. I'm really focusing on me as my home, and really, really feeling safe and secure inside myself. So if you saw my post the other day, I went to the grocery store. And in trauma, in PTSD, in emotional processing, every little trip outside of the house sometimes is a feat. You never know where it's going to take you. You never know if you're going to have a panic attack, if you're going to have emotions. Most of you know that I am huge with the essential oils, so I had my oils stocked in my pockets at all times. I carried my peppermint with me just in case I couldn't breathe or I felt smothered. I had my rose oil with me to strengthen me and to make me feel safe and secure. I had my Brave oil to do exactly what it says it does. And I had all those in my pocket. And it was very interesting because I've always been the type of person for most of my life where I didn't care what people thought. I didn't care if people were talking about me. I'm extraordinarily confident. Before this trauma occurred, I had some self-confidence issues, but afterwards, I became a zero fucks person. I didn't give a fuck what people thought about me. I didn't give a fuck about people's judgment. I worried about my judgment. I worried about how I felt about me. So to be back in this place makes me literally feel back in that trauma. And I feel very judged, and it's very discombobulating right now. It is totally normal for you to feel regressed. When you are processing, don't ever feel like I made 2 steps forward and now I'm 3 steps back. Sometimes we regress to heal. So when you're pushing forward and then all of a sudden you feel like you took some steps back, it's just resting. You're just healing. Be okay with it. Understand that sometimes we fall off the wagon, and it's not a normal. It's just that your body needs time to process everything and to really implement the change. If you didn't fall back and notice it, then you're not really healing. So it frustrates me when I feel judged. So I was at the grocery store and I was with my little boy, and my little boy has really, really long hair, and he has a hat that looks like a bear head, and he loves it. It's his most favorite thing. And so he was wearing that hat, and we were in the produce section, and there were these 2 girls who worked there who were stocking, and they all of a sudden, they were looking over at us, and then they all of a sudden like went to each other and were whispering and stuff like that. And immediately I felt like they were talking about me, which, by the way, I've never cared about. So I'm one of those people where I see people talking, and even if I feel like they're talking about me, I'm like, good, let's give them something to talk about. Because that's the type of person that I am. I'm like, you have no idea. If you think you know really shitty, amazing stuff about me, then guess what? You have no idea. I know way more, fucked up stuff about me. I immediately like froze and felt really judged. And then the girls came over and were stalking around us. And the one girl said to my little boy, I love your hat. I just told my friend she needs to get one for her little girl. And I was like, oh, I immediately felt stupid because I was like, they were talking about him. And but it really set in and made me realize that all of the sudden I have regressed. I care what other people think, and that I need to tame that back, because again, what other people think and what other people say is more about them than it is about you. What you think and what you say is about you. But it's all part of the healing process. So I wanted to tell you the most important thing in healing, the most important thing. I don't care what stage you're at, even if you're just at the very, very beginning where you're thinking that you need to heal or want to heal. The very most important thing is stop resisting. Stop resisting healing. Stop saying, I'm not going to fix that. Stop saying, I can't fix that. Stop saying, there's no way, it's always been this way. It's too late. Stop resisting. Because most people will not face shame ever, because they're afraid of the social stigma. They're afraid of the social isolation. They're afraid of what other people think. But let me tell you that it is destroying your life. It is not destroying their life. It is not destroying their life. It's destroying you. You don't have to live their life. They don't have to live your life. No matter what they think. They don't have to wake up to your life every single day. They don't have to wake up to your feelings every single day. So stop resisting and start throwing your shame out into the light where everybody can see it, and do not worry about what anybody else thinks, because everybody has their own shame that they hope to God you don't see. And the more that we show our vulnerability, the more that we show our shame, the less of a stigma it becomes, because everybody starts to realize that everybody has it. And that nobody should be ashamed, because we've all had shit that shamed us that wasn't even shameful. Do you hear me? We've all dealt with shit that was not shameful that we are feeling shame for right now. We've also done shit that we feel ashamed for, and instead of just owning that shit and asking for forgiveness from ourselves or from the people that we feel like we've wronged, we still just continue to hold it against ourselves and destroy our own lives. It's not helpful. It does not help the person that you wronged. It's destroying you. Stop it and stop resisting. My trauma was almost 20 years ago. And in this processing, I've heard people say, it was 20 years ago. Let it go. Who cares? It doesn't matter anymore. But it does. Because time does not heal. Doing the work does. Pushing it down, burying it, waiting for time to pass, it does not heal. That's a complete bullshit statement. Time does not heal. Doing the damn work does. Because I didn't work on this for 20 years and it didn't heal at all. Digging it all back up, now it's just infected and infested and dirt covered and maggot covered and everything else, because I've just buried that shit. And now it hurts. It hurts like it's happening now, like it's happening right this second. It hurts just as bad as it did the day that it happened. We need to accept that. And we need to understand that time passes, and if we don't deal with it, it haunts you. It tortures you. It changes your life. It alters the course of your life. I was talking to one of my counselor friends the other day, and we were talking about how when you counsel trauma victims, it's life before the trauma, and then life after the trauma. Because the trauma alters you. Your life is not the same. Your spirit is not the same. Your physical is not the same. Your emotional is not the same. Your mental is not the same. Everything is altered. And even to the point where you stop developing in certain areas because of that trauma. You have to deal with these things to push forward in your life. You have to accept it. You have to sit with it. You have to change it. And changing your story is a big part of it. Understanding that the way you feel is because of this, and it is not all you. And also understanding how it altered you and changed you and fixing that. It all goes to your story. And if you can't accept love, it goes to your story. If you are having financial difficulties, it is all connected to the shit that you won't let go of. You cannot accept new things. You cannot allow money into your life, love into your life. Everything is energy, and everything flows in and flows out. Money is energy. And if you're having money difficulties, you need to look at your story. You need to look at your trauma. You need to look at what you won't let go of and let it go so that you can accept new energy, new money, new financial opportunities. We don't understand how these stories and these traumas affect us in the real world, but they do. They affect our relationships. They affect our money situation. They affect our future. They affect our business opportunities. They affect our careers. They affect our relationship with our children, our relationship with our partners. They affect the ability to have relationships with our children and our partners and money. They affect it all. The more you release your emotional mess, the more you release your emotional ties, the less bound you are in the physical world. Stop tying yourself in the physical world with your emotional ties. Let go. Change your story. Understand that you are handicapping you, no one else. So this week, for your wake up time, I really want you to ask yourself, how are you keeping yourself bound in the physical world? What are you keeping out that you really want? Because it's been eye-opening to me here. And I really want you to have an amazing life. I want you to have an amazing day, an amazing week, an amazing, multiple lives from now. I want you to be fulfilled and abundant. And I want to be fulfilled and abundant. And that's why I'm not resisting. And I haven't been for the last year. Because I'm done resisting. I want all the love, all the money, all the abundance, all the joy to flow into my life the way it was always meant to. And I'm going to stop damming it out. And I want you to do the same. Stop sleepwalking through your life and go out right now and tackle all your question marks and find the answers no matter what, and make your life one big giant exclamation point. Have an amazing week.